Hello and welcome back to Regiments, and today we are going to begin Operation Firebird. The GSFG offensive is faltering while US continental reserves are pouring in. The 7th Guards Tank Division is tasked with a deep strike to disrupt the NATO reorganization. This operation is going to take place between the 18th to the 20th of June 1989, and our unit is going to be the 40th Motorized Rifle Regiment. Our parent unit is the 7th Guards Tank Division of the 3rd Combined Arms Army in the 2nd Western Front. Polkovnik. There are strong indications that NATO is preparing a general counteroffensive, while our first echelon forces are depleted and the logistics are strained to the limit. Front command needs more time to regain combat effectiveness. Our division will buy that time. Our objective is the Kirchhain Forward Air Base immediately to our front. Nearby Marburg is serving as a rallying point for the bleeding forces of the 3rd German Corps. First US Reforger units are also expected to arrive soon. A bold strike against the airbase will threaten this massive reorganization effort and will force NATO to react immediately, rerouting capable forces from other areas. Your 40th Motorized Rifle Regiment received the lion's share of recent reinforcements. You will be our battering ram against the 2nd Panzer Grenadier Division positions protecting the Kirchhain Air Force Base. The enemy is heavily entrenched and has emplaced obstacle belts. 448th Rocket Brigade will provide missile strikes against enemy strongpoints on your command. Use the precious Torkas wisely. The operation starts at 800. Front expects only success. There is no one else to do it. Don't let them down. Our objectives are defined rather simply. First, we have to breach the 2nd Panzer Grenadier Division's tactical defenses. Second, we have to capture the Kirchhain Air Force Base, and we have to hold it against enemy counterattacks. For the 1st and 2nd stage, we have 8 phases as a time limit, and for the 3rd stage, we have 2. I assume that the 1st and 2nd stage are the battle to get and to capture the airfield, and the 3rd phase is the defense against the enemy. What is not entirely clear for me is if the 8 phases are per stage, or if the 8 phases are shared between stage 1 and stage 2, but we are going to find out. Immediately we can see that we have artillery smoke and we have a strike of a tactical ballistic missile, but the reload time is 30 minutes, meaning that we can only use it once per phase. We have a unit of scouts, we have 2 units of T-64 B1V, and we have a couple units of infantrysts. They're all armed with machine guns, with rifles, and we have RPGs and Strela 3 anti-air missiles. We also have 1 infantry unit with fire support weapons. Lastly, we also have some combat engineers. We have a unit of Shilkas, we have mortars, and we have 2 units of different artillery, and we have supplies. We also have over 400 points of operational authority, and I think I'm going to invest them as follows. The Damask Task Force is very interesting because it gives us access to an HQ unit, something that we are currently lacking. It is also giving us access to more infantry and to mortars, as well as to napalm. Also, Octavia is looking very, very interesting because we get some more scouts, even more infantry and even more mortars, as well as rocket support. And mostly for us, the scouts are interesting because we are definitely lacking that. And we are going to need armor support. And therefore, the Molot task force might be the best choice for us. We are going to get at the beginning 2 units of T-80s BV, who are also quite experienced, and later we are even getting more infantry support. The other task forces are a lot cheaper and also quite interesting, but I think this is what we should pick out. Immediately I'm going to get the Molos task force, and I'm also going to get the Damask task force so that we can get more tanks and more HQ units. And we will have to increase our deployment points so that we can get more stuff onto the field. And the rest I'm going to, for the moment, save up. We have quite a lot of supplies, so this shouldn't be that much of an issue. And I hope that we capture enough positions so that we can get our tactical support up and our deployment points up. And with that, we are almost ready for battle. Let's say what the operations log tells us. And we have some information from our headquarters. The West Germans had time to restore their defensive line. Break it again. Engineers will help with the obstacle belts. Tactical missiles can reduce any strong point to ashes. You have the tools, now get the results. 79s and 56 tank regiments, what's left of them, will be putting pressure on the flanks of the enemy line to the left and right of your area of operations. And with that, we will have to pick an event card. We could go for Blitz. This is, in my opinion, not advisable for the beginning. We could get our supplies disrupted, but before we pick that, I want to have some supplies on the battlefield. And I think we therefore should pick Divisional Artillery. This should allow us to get through the first areas of the enemy defense. And after that, we might want to use extended operations to get some more time on the field. And now, before the battle begins, let's have a quick look onto the battlefield. We have 2 access points onto the field, and we have some allied units that are on our left and on our right, who are going to assist our push. Our objective are to take Hill 71 and to take Vira East. The rest of the objectives are not that important, but we have to fight all the way down here to go to the next stage. And ideally, of course, we want to take as much of the ground here as possible to maximize our operational authority. For the moment, I have brought 3 different units of tanks, including our T-64s and our T-80s. I've also brought 2 infantry units and our combat engineers, as well as a unit of mortars, our shield cars, our HQ unit, and of course some supplies. And the battle plan for the moment is rather simple. I would ideally want to have someone over here, and then flank Hill 124 over this direction. This should also allow us to flank further over Baumann's farm. From there, we should have a relative easy time to get behind enemy defensive lines, to get towards the valley, and to take Hill 71 from the rear. After that, we would have to roll up the enemy lines and prepare for the next stage, because I'm pretty sure at this point we are going to run out of time. And with that out of the way, it is time to go to battle. And with that, all forces are moving out. A unit of tanks is going over here and over here. The same goes with our scouts. They're also taking position over here, because this should give them a good vantage point. The rest of our forces are moving on this flank and then over here to try to get on the side of Hill 124. Let's make sure I do not forget those infanterists. And we can see that our allies are pushing forward. Let's speed up the time for a little bit. We can see that an artillery barrage is taking place. And as it currently looks like, no enemy forces are in the direct vicinity, so let's push our forces forward a little bit easier. We have spotted an enemy unit. We have spotted enemies over there. And some of our allied units have been attacked. Our tanks are giving fire support. We are lighting up an HQ unit. This is definitely going to hamper the enemy's effectiveness. And our aircraft are coming in. Wonderful. Let's make sure our supplies keep up. Mortars are almost in range. They can stay over here. Supplies can go over here. These tanks are engaged and entrenched. We would have to outflank the enemy further. Let's get our scouts up over here. I have accidentally brought them with us. This was not intentional, but it will work. Let's put up an artillery barrage over there, because these tanks are almost destroyed. Over here we are working through the enemy. Let's get these tanks forward to give some additional fire support together with these tanks. These infantries can also push up. We are through the first line of the enemy defense. Not that this has been thanks to us. And very soon these tanks should be able to engage the enemy over here. Yes, our T-80s got their first salvo off. More enemy forces are still in that area. Let's get the boys to push up. And we are encountering more enemy forces. Let's get our infantry to dismount. These combat engineers, I want them to fall back for the moment. Or better, we are going to put some smoke down. We are going to order our mortars to fire over there. Now, our sappers can push up. The smoke is going to obscure the enemy's vision and are going to allow us to push in. These guys dismount and push forward. Let's hope our engineers make it in time before the cloud evaporates, because only then they will be working at maximum effectiveness. These men can push in. Okay, boys. You can dismount and light them up. Wonderful. Enemy destroyed. T-80s can push up. We have infantry in front of us. Let's give out some mortar support. We should light them up with these. And these BMPs can also push forward onto the enemy main position. Let's also get these tanks forward. We should have cleared this position out. Let's make sure that our guys move through the enemy obstacles, so that we can avoid that. Where's our Shilkas? We have enemy aircraft coming in. Yeah, our tanks got a little bit hit. But luckily we were able to avoid most of the damage. Let's get everyone forward. Wonderful. These tanks are going to hold our sides. We know that the enemy has more stuff over there. Very soon we are going to be able to use our tactical missiles. Enemy artillery is coming in. We will have to get a move on. Let's get these guys loaded up.
Zone captured.
Shilkas can move up. HQ can move up. These guys can also move up. I want to get a Bauman's farm. I'm sure this is going to be a good position to move up. We have enemy forces over there. T-80s are engaging. We do not exactly know what they are. We have more forces over there. We are going to use some smoke. We are going to get our combat engineers as close as possible. And we are going to overrun the enemy sides. Mortars also over there. These guys have to dismount their tanks. If we can get close enough, we can annihilate them. Combat engineers, push up. These tanks should be able to help, but these are leopards. This might have been a mistake. Over here we have an HQ unit of leopards, but it looks like we might be able to get them. Oh well, better we should focus on those Jaguars, because they are an anti-tank unit. Okay, we have got rid of them. Now, we are pushing in. Let's get those combat engineers closer. We are taking casualties over here. HQ, get closer. And I think at this point... No. We are not going to use these guides already. We have to get these boys out. They are unable to defeat the enemy lines over here. And over here, these guys need to fall back. We can't break through. Now, we were able to destroy those enemies. Combat engineers, you can mount up. I want you to move as fast as possible into this town. HQ unit needs to withdraw. These guys need to fall back. These guys need to fall back. Mortars and our supplies need to pull up so that we can get our guys repaired. Over here we are thankfully able to do some pressure onto the enemy. Let's also get these tanks over here to bombard them. And our sappers are definitely getting hit. Let's hope we can get more people in as quickly as possible. These tanks are looking fine. We are getting some people repaired and we can get more infantry back in. We are going to once again trying to focus on that push over here. And it looks like the enemy aircraft is not attacking our forces on that hill. This is very good for us because we would have no option to defeat that. Now, our units are repaired. Let's once again try to get onto the enemy flank. We are going to push through the town. Over here, these boys unfortunately need to stay behind. We are putting some good fire onto these leopards. They are withdrawing. And now, if we can, I want to destroy those looks. We should be able to see them. But there's artillery fire coming in. We might have to withdraw our tanks. Okay, we are getting smoked up, but it looks like we are more or less fine. Everyone over here get prepared. These guys need to get prepared. Supplies you need to get over here. Infantry support is coming in. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. These tanks need to fall back. There's absolutely no way in hell that they can get through that. These T-64s are fighting. Ooh, that was a nasty hit. Let's, for the time being, get those tanks out. We have more tanks in reserve that we can call up. Well, better, we should get them over here. Supplies are soon going to set up, getting our combat engineers ready, and then we're going to push in over here to get to the farm. And then we should hopefully be behind the enemy line. Can we get our scouts forward slightly without getting hit? Over here, these T-64s can attack these looks. Hopefully this is going to obscure the enemy vision. We are almost ready over here. Wonderful, we have driven those guys away. Now we're going to get those guys into reverse. And over here we are pushing up. I should have taken our scouts a long time ago to get over here as well. But I did not. And it looks like all of our remaining friendly units have been destroyed, and they are not going to be any more of them. Can we get our guys up here without getting them annihilated? That would be very, very good. Mortars can set up over here. HQ can set up over here. These guys have arrived. Let's get them also over here. Tanks can pull up over here. I think we can then make a two-front assault. And we have 100 more deployment points. Let's get our other T-60s. No. Let's better get some more infantry onto the field. Now, sappers, you can unload. Get ready. And we are going to move forward with our tanks. Shellcars can move up the hill. This is hopefully going to give us some much needed fire support. T-80s can get ready over here. We see enemy units. We are engaging. These are anti-air emplacements that have been destroyed almost immediately. Let's make sure the HQ unit keeps up. And we can push in. Sappers move up. T-80s engage the enemy. Wonderful, these T-80s can pull forward. We have annihilated those tanks. Sappers, you can get up into your vehicles for the moment. The enemy is shelling us. T-80s move in. HQ move over here. I want these infantries to get forward on this area. These guys to get forward onto the hill. Supplies need to keep up. And with that, we are almost on the flank of Hill 71. If we are able to get that in this phase, this would be very nice. We have more infantry coming in. I do not know why they moved over there. Let's hope that this is not a massive tactical mistake. Scouts, you should now focus your attention over here. And we only have 7 minutes left, meaning that very soon we will simply have to use our unit. 1 is being captured. I was not aware that our starting point could be captured, but it appears as such. We are not going to focus on that for the minute. Let's get our guys forward. We're going to push into this forest.
Zone lost.
We are getting hit by some entrenched units. Let's make sure our mortar fire can prepare. We need to get it a little bit closer. And there is an entrenched enemy unit. Infantry needs to set up. And we have to attack them straight on. These are leopards. And I think we are going to redirect our fire support unit down here to get this point back. Sappers, get closer. These leopards are almost destroyed. Wonderful. Let's get our boys out over here. These T-80s can get into fighting positions. These sappers can get into fighting position. HQ unit, keep up. Mortars and shellcars should be in range to intercept whatever the enemy has. And we're going to push down here. Let's get our scouts forward. I hope this is not a massive mistake. Let's order an artillery barrage over here. Wonderful. More tanks are withdrawing. These are Leopards 2A. Wonderful. Valuable hits, valuable hits. Over here, our infantry should be able to deal with those guys. T-80s prepare to push in. Scouts can push in. These tanks, I'm going to withdraw them so that we can get some deployment points back to attack over here. These guys need to dismount and attack whatever is pushing over this direction. These are tanks. This is obviously not good.
5 minutes remaining.
We only have 5 minutes remaining. Let's get these boys set up again. These guys need to move up. Let's get our infantry in to capture this point. We are capturing the point over here. These guys can withdraw, and because I do not have a better target right now, I'm just going to order an ICBM strike on those tanks. I hope the rocket is going to hit and destroy them. Otherwise, I have just wasted our best weapon for nothing. We have enemies over here. It is an anti-air system, therefore I'm not going to dismount our forces. I would like them to stay alive, and it looks like this was a waste of our missile strike. Well, that happens. Let's get our tanks back so that we can protect our flank. I'm also going to get these T-80s out.
Zone captured.
We can move up over here. These guys can set up again. HQ unit can move up. Let's make sure our scouts make sure our rear is safe. We do not know where those soldiers went. It looks like they're going to move forward to Hill 124. A place that they could theoretically capture and then cut our line off. And it looks like they're actually going to do that, but we should have their flank.
Zone captured.
They have the high ground. Let's smoke them up. Let's fall back. Soon we are going to have more units on the field, and then we can do something about it. Yeah, these guys are getting completely destroyed. Let's get them out. this is really not looking so good for us. What actually can we get in? We could get infantry in. On this close range, they should hopefully be able to stand up against those tanks. However, we need to get them into some combat stances immediately. We can get some T-80s out as well. And with that, we are hopefully able to stop the enemy attack on our positions and maybe even get behind them. Now, in the meantime, I want these guys to move forward. And these guys get ready to get into the rear of Isin. Also, we could potentially get over here to Solgrund Grove. And now Hill 124 is getting captured. Let's get our guys forward. These guys need to mount up. And we unfortunately have to engage them over here. We can get some more tanks forward. And we have to make sure that we get this position before the timer runs out. Otherwise, all of our progress would be for nothing.
Zone lost.
Yeah, we are now in the process of losing basically everything that we have built up. I'm going to get our mortars out. They're getting suppressed. HQ unit, I want you to move down. Mortars, I want you to attack over here so that we are hopefully able to immediately stun the enemy, because they can shoot at us before we can see them. Yeah, mortars, fire over there. These guys, fast move into the enemy rear. These tanks, I have to leave them there as a rear guard. These tanks keep moving. Nope, they need to get out. I do not... Yeah, we have just lost a valuable tank unit of ours. These guys need to dismount. We have 1 minute left. 1 tank unit destroyed. These guys need to make it over there. Yeah, finally it looks like we are getting rid of those very valuable leopards. Our infantry is getting hacked to pieces though. Let's get them in. Let's also get these tanks in. Everyone, as quickly as possible, get over there.
1 minute remaining.
We have to get those guys out, but I should have waited until they have gotten the point. But we can see how heavily they get hit. Have they made it out, or have they... Yeah, it looks like they're getting out. 40 seconds. I'm going to order an artillery barrage over there. We simply have the option to do it, so let's just do it. And I do not know if we now have to also get people onto those positions to make sure that they do not fall back into enemy hands. If that is the case, we have lost valuable ground. Let's move up the time. Yeah, this is not a promising start to this operation. In this fight, we had 36 men killed, we have 83 men wounded, and we have 3 men missing, meaning that we have total casualties of 122. We have also lost 15 vehicles. On the enemy side, they had 51 men killed, 189 men wounded, and 10 men missing, bringing their casualty count up to 250. They have also lost 32 vehicles. And if I remember correctly, we have in this fight only lost 1 of our platoons. We have lost some of our infanterists. And then later we also got our fire support infanterists destroyed. We also lost another of our T-80s. Okay, casualties were higher than expected, but I hope that they were still relatively in range. All in all, we made some good progress, but we got also a large amount of our progress taken away from us. but I think we can keep it up in the next phase. And with that, our first episode of Operation Firebird comes to an end. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I thank you all for watching. And until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.